Hi everyone, I just want to start off by thanking Sina Kahen, Avi Garson and the entire Xabura for such beautiful opportunities to learn together, to connect internationally, and to really bring beautiful Harbatzat Torah together. It was going so well for the Jewish people. They were getting closer to Eretz Yisrael, and they decided it's time to send in spies. And these weren't just any spies. And the spies come back, and they start to give a beautiful report. The land is flowing with milk and honey. Look at these fruit, they're stunning. And really, it's not sounding too bad. And then things take a turn for the worse. And when that happens, and they start to speak about the fortified cities, and the spies start to describe the enemies, the giants. So it's not surprising that the Jews start crying. The Jews cry from all the fear that's been evoked. And the Gemara says on that pasuk of Vayivku ha'am b'layla hahu, the Gemara in Ta'anit says, you cried for no reason. Hashem says, I'm going to give you reason to cry on Tisha B'Av L'Dorot. I'm going to give you reasons to cry for generations. And the question I just want to ask for a moment is, what caused that mistake? What caused the spies to go wrong? What was at the core that really made what happened next nearly inevitable in some ways? And the Gemara in Sanhedrin says something fascinating when it's trying to figure out and trying to explore why in some parakim of Lamentations, of Megillat Echa, why in some parakim does it first have a peh and then ayin, even though these are acrostics. And the Gemara says something very interesting. The Gemara says, She'amru b'fihem ma shelo ra'u be'enehem. Because in that generation of the spies, they said with their mouths what they didn't see with their eyes. Because the letters ayin and peh mean eye, ayin, and peh is mouth. And the rabbis are telling us that something about the way that they reported tells us that they already wanted to say things before they even saw it. What exactly does that mean? So I'm sure there are many ways to understand this. But one simple understanding could be that this is referring to their preconceived notions, their biases. A lot of Perushim speak about the issues that the Jews had and the fears that the Jews had before even getting into Eretz Yisrael. And that with those preconceived notions and biases and preconceptions of negativity, of negative value judgments about moving into Eretz Yisrael, moving into that next phase, it made it impossible for the spies to not come back with a negative report. No matter what they saw, no matter how incredible things they saw were, their eyes were going to see the negative. She'amru b'fihem ma shelo ra'u be'enehem. They already could have said with their mouths, they already maybe were saying with their mouths, before their eyes even saw negative things to share with the Jewish people, with Bnei Israel. And that's true in so many areas of life. How if we have biases, preconceived notions, they totally impact our ability to enter an environment, to enter a situation, to enter meeting a new person with absolute intellectual honesty and through the lens of objectivity. And I think maybe that's also why the Parasha of Tzitzit comes at the end and says, in this order, V'lo tatur acharei levavachem v'acharei einechem. Tatur being that word again, latur, that is mentioned by the spies. And that first it starts in the heart and then the eyes. Because whatever your desires are, that's going to impact what you see and what you notice in this world. And that could be very much the mistake. Well, if that's the case, if that inability to have total objectivity and intellectual honesty affected the galut so much, then Be'ezrat Hashem, letting go of preconceived notions, letting go of preconceptions will also be the beginning of the process to the real final Geula. Wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom Umevorach. Thank you again.